Okay, here it is. Oh, I can hear myself. That's so weird. I gotta turn this down. Okay, welcome everybody. It is the Bring It On podcast. And I can hear myself echo in this mic and my headphones, and it sounds weird. This is the first time I am recording this with my face in a camera, which is weird because it's my camera. So, that being said, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, I guess, at this point, but hopefully it's in focus and not blurry because my camera is here and my screen is here because I run a 2-monitor system, and that's how I work because I'm fucking blind, I don't have my glasses on today, but I'm looking down the barrel of a lens. So it doesn't matter if I can focus my eyeballs. Probably not. So anyways, it is, God, fuck, what day is it? It's Wednesday, September 8th, 8:17 in the morning. Kids are at school. Everybody is not here. So that's good. It's quiet here in my office, and I am testing out this recording shit. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, I guess. If you have some suggestions, go ahead. I do have a YouTube channel. Whether or not I want to plaster my face all over YouTube more, I don't really know. So, today, I guess I might because, I'm sporting my new hat today. Like that. I plead the second is what my hat says. If you are not watching this on video, you are catching this audio only. Yes, I support gun rights. There. If you don't like that, I mean, there's the off button. Go ahead. I don't care. I feel like this is something that's extremely pertinent and very important right now in our lives because as of September 8th of 2021, we are just a few days out from the 20th anniversary of 9/11, people. And look at what kind of a fucking disaster is going on in our country right now. I haven't really talked about this much, but it's like at the forefront of my mind. It's been rolling around in my head, and I know that I'm not the only one. So here's what I want to tell you today, basically, is this in a nutshell, is that number one, I am an American. I was born here. I've never lived anywhere else. I've never even been outside the country. I mean, I've traveled in some states and seen some different states in the country. I haven't even been to Canada or Mexico, either one. Not that that makes any difference, but that's just, I guess, what my experience has been. And there is nothing wrong with being an American. There is nothing wrong with being proud of being an American. Because you know what? Most of us are. Most of us are happy to be here. Most of us love our country. Most of us love our freedoms. I mean, who doesn't? And if you don't, you really need to do some self-evaluation of what the fuck is going on in your head. Like, this is probably going to be an unpopular opinion. I mean, I don't even really think it's an opinion. Observation. We are not oppressed. Yet. Yet being the operative word. But here's the thing. That, like, if we don't pay attention what the fuck's going on, we're gonna be. And I know that you guys have heard from other people that have said, wake up, stand up, speak out. I mean, we're like where I'm at, small town, Iowa. I live in a rural community. It's a very, it's not like a progressive community, which is fucking awesome in my opinion. You want to know why? Here's why. Because we don't have like that daily, I mean, like, you could totally not know what's going on in all these other places and big cities and whatnot if you didn't turn on social media or the news or any of that. You would look out your door, you would go about your everyday life and not know that everybody was losing their fucking minds. You wouldn't. I mean, the old boys at the coffee shop, they talk politics, they talk about the good old days, they talk about stories about the kind of shit that they used to pull when they were younger, and they used to get away with a lot of stuff. I mean, I got away with a lot of stuff as a teenager as well, because that was pre-cell phones. I am a Gen Xer. I am the laid-back, easygoing generation. But here's the thing. When somebody starts fucking with my life, I'm not so laid back and easygoing anymore. And I'm not afraid to stand up and tell somebody if there's a problem. And we all got a problem right now. Because I hate using this word, narrative. I'm so sick of hearing that word, agenda. I mean, but here it is, you guys. It's a thing. It's a fucking huge problem. Like, I don't understand where these people get off thinking that they can just tell all of us that we have to do this, this, and this, and we're just going to say, okay, fuck you. No, we ain't. No, we're not. And if you feel like you're the only one that's saying no, you're not the only one. Okay? You're not alone. You are actually in the majority. And we've all heard the term silent majority for how many years? How many years? Why? Why is the majority usually silent? Because we're out here working and doing our thing and living our lives and making the world a better place and being productive members of society. If that offends you, if the fucking shoe fits, lace it up and wear it. At this point, I'm done giving a fuck who is offended. Don't care. If you're offended, suck it up, buttercup. And you know why that phrase is fresh in my mind? From a 5th grader. Well, she's a 6th grader this year. Or no, 6th grade. 5th or 6th grader. Whatever. A middle schooler uses that phrase. She would qualify, I believe, as a Gen Zer. I believe it's Gen Z. I didn't look it up beforehand. So I guess if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Whatever. Suck it up, buttercup. I think we could all really use a big fat dose of that mentality. Suck it up. Quit being such a bunch of whiny bitches and handle your business. Yet here we are, and we all have to realize that social media has allowed us to have a voice, a really big voice. And there are ways to manipulate that to make it bigger. And if you don't agree with that or you don't understand that, you are missing the boat, man. It is not that difficult to have a big voice and be loud. But with that comes a responsibility. That's the problem. That's where we're failing. Is understanding what you're putting out there, what I'm putting out there, what we're all putting out there has an effect. You remember, what's it called? The butterfly effect? Where a butterfly flaps its wings and causes like a fucking tsunami on the other side of the world or some crazy thing like that. That's the butterfly effect. And we need to be cognizant of what we're putting out there. And I mean, you could probably sit there and say, well, yeah, Erin, what kind of shit are you putting out there right now? I'm fully aware of it. I am fully 100% aware of what I'm doing. And I don't have to have everybody agree with me. I don't have to be on what's the word I'm looking for? The PC side of things, the like the same side, or I don't give a fuck what side you're on. Here's the thing. We all can agree on, except a few. A very, 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 very small few people. We all agree that we want to be able to do what we want to do, right? I mean, do you want to be able to get up in the morning, go out your door, go grab a coffee, and go do whatever it is that you do? Without having to go through some fucking checkpoint or make sure your passport is allowing you to, or you have a passport that allows you to go, like, live? Do we really want that? For real. This shit is happening around the world. And that's the other thing, good thing about social media. It allows us to be able to see what other people are going through. We're able to see what other countries and what other cultures, how they live. It helps us to learn. It helps us to learn about other people. It helps us to be able to learn what is going on. We have to be responsible in how we consume that, though. Like, because not everything is the truth. I mean, if there's any doubt in your mind, I mean, I don't know how many times I see, well, I saw it on the internet, it must be true. And that is total being facetious. If you don't know what the word facetious means, it's sarcastic, smartass, whatever, insert synonym here. Just because it's out there doesn't mean it's true, A. And there's so many different, everything is through a lens, right? I talked about I am like looking down the barrel of a lens right now. It's through a lens. That lens is someone's perspective, someone's perception of whatever situation, whatever piece of information, whether it be fact or fiction or something somebody created that are manufactured, changed, altered. I mean, you guys, I know what Photoshop is. I understand Photoshop pretty damn well. I do it. I mean, like, around me here. Something I do. I know things can be manipulated very easily. And I'm not even like expert level at that shit. But you have to remember, we have to remember that all things can be curated. And if somebody has a purpose for skewing something and changing it, the technology is there to make it happen really easily. Be wary, people, of what we're consuming. Be wary. Don't just blindly trust. Don't blindly trust me. Because sometimes I'm fucking wrong. And man, I wish I was wrong here, but I'm really nervous. Really nervous. Like, and it's not just because I have a camera stuffed in my face right now, which I did to myself. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I just get a wild hair up my ass to do something different. That's how I roll. I mean, if you didn't know that, I don't know where you've been. But if you know me at all, that's kind of how I've lived my entire life, is by the seat of my pants. Which has afforded me the flexibility to be able to pivot and change and shift and move and when I need to be. That's a good thing. There are also detriments to that. There are definitely drawbacks to flying by the seat of your ass. Definitely. Absolutely. Positively. Of that, there is no question. Ask my husband. He'll tell you all about it because he'd be like, oh my God, woman. I make him crazy. Make him crazy. But that's okay because he loves me. He has to put up with my shit. Right? So, did you drink your water today? That is your friendly reminder to drink your water today. If I can spit it out my face. I'm telling you, somebody throws a lens in your face, even though it's my own damn self, it makes you like a little bit, I might be twitching here. Oh, you know, the funny thing is it's really not the funny thing. Is that we all want the best, right? We want the best for our kids. We want the best for our friends. We want the best for our families. Unless you're some sadistic fuck that is messed up, we want the best for each other. As a whole, we all want the same things. We want the best for each other. We want the best things that we are able to get for ourselves. That's why we show up for work every day. That's why we do the things we do every single day. I mean, there's a lot of days in our lives. Our lives are short. I mean, don't let me even fucking blow sunshine up your ass. Life is short. And we try to shove in as much as we possibly can. Right? We do all the things. Because we want to live and experience as much as possible. I mean, make your life worthwhile. And I have, on the opposite side of that, I have friends that are totally just like zen-y, hippie people, and I fucking love them. They're so grounding for me and remind me to ground myself because Lord knows I need it. Because usually I'm wound pretty tight. But we're all different. But we all generally want the same things. And when we have conversations with one another, be it in person, on the phone, on Zoom, on the internet, in the comments, on social media, wherever, can you do me one favor and remember, we all want the same things. Whether we agree on the process of getting there or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how we arrive there. What matters is the core of that we all basically want the same thing. And we all basically need the same things. And we as Americans have the opportunity to do so many things. Whatever we want. Like, if I didn't want to be in sales, I could go back to school and become a doctor if I wanted to. I mean, it probably wouldn't be the wisest decision ever, because, like, medical school is fucking a lot. A long time. It takes a long time. I'm almost 45. I'd be, like, finishing my internship and then retiring, basically. But I could do that if I wanted to. I would just have to, like, go through the steps and do it. That is available to me. Why? Because we live in the most awesome country in the world. Not everybody can do that anywhere else. They can't. Why do you think so many people come here? We live in the land with the greatest opportunity available. And we all need to remember that it is not given to us on a silver fucking platter, that you're going to have to apply yourself if you want to be able to do that. If I wanted to go back to school and become a doctor, I would have to go to medical school. I would have to pass the classes. I would have to do all the things to tick it off. But that opportunity is available to me if I want to pursue it. And that opportunity is available to me if I want to pursue it. That is what's great about being here. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you want to do, if your parents or who your parents are, like, it doesn't matter. The opportunities are there. But you have to do something about it. You have to take advantage of it. Because if you don't, it's just going to go to somebody else. It's that simple. It's so annoying. Because, let's be real, No one owes you or me anything. No one owes you shit. No one owes me shit. If I want something, I need to get off my ass and go work for it. It's that fucking simple. And it grates me. Like my kids. Okay, kid. The older kid. Because it's like, well, I want this. And if you expect to, ask for it to just be like, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, and I give my kids a lot of things. I probably give them too many things. Here's something that really blew my mind. What class was it? I understand where this is coming from, right? There's a class that he had, or has, I think it was last year he had this class, and the teacher was telling them that instead of, and I understand where she was coming from, but translation to a preteen or teenager, not everything got there. So she told them that instead of just asking for something that they want, say like a phone or a video game or whatever, to bring to the table, to the parent or whoever they're asking, like all the benefits of said thing. Like Alex has been trying to sell me on a phone, and like not just any phone. He's been telling me this and that about the iPhone 11 specifically, because it's not the top of the line, Mom, but it still does da-da. Well, I'm aware of what da-da all is. I fucking have one. So I don't know how I feel about that. Because they're learning tools to sell, right? Because that's everything in life, okay? That's what makes a lot of the world go round, is you're either selling or being sold, right? We are a society of consumers and producers. People produce things, we consume things. We produce things, other people consume things. Right? That's just the circle we live in, right? That's how we live. We need food, we need water, we need air to breathe, we need a place to live. Okay? Somebody has to produce those, and other people consume them. So it's you're either selling or being sold. Grant Cardone said you're either selling or you're being sold. And it's true. It's just that simple. It's not like a bad thing. It just is a thing. Just is. So he comes to me, and I kind of took a sideways here. I mean, you guys, okay. So if this is the first time you ever experience a podcast with me, I squirrel, like big time. And my recording cut off, so I had to put back in. I mean, I'll be like as transparent. I don't even know how much. I have a bunch of notes here, and I already went squirrel because I can't sit here and read off them. But it's okay. It's totally okay. Because usually off the cuff is how I do it anyways. Because if I do a script, I sound weird to myself. I sound weird to myself. Whatever. Doesn't concern. I mean, most people are like, what the fuck ever. But anyways, I digress. So I just took a hard right. You're welcome. Adam appreciates this. You're welcome, Adam, because I know you miss my squirrel. So now I lost my train of thought. Oh my god. I appreciate the fact that she was trying to give them tools to equip them to be better communicators. Because ultimately that's kind of what it boils down to, is giving them tools to utilize to be able to get what they want. Because isn't that what, we're kind of all about? We work every day to make money, to buy the things we want, to have the things we want to have the things we need. And that's good to learn how to do that. But then I'm like, oh, you little shit. Because I'm not ready for him to have a phone. But I kind of am, because like he's 13. And having the ability for him to go hang out with his friends or do whatever while I'm at practice, because I coach a couple different teams, because I have a sucker stamped on my forehead. No, really, it's great. I love it. I love the kids. They're awesome. But like, sometimes I get myself into too much. But having the ability to get a hold of him when I need him would be kind of a thing. Okay, and so I got him an Apple Watch. And I'm really took a hard left here, hard right, whatever. It broke it. So I'm like, I really am missing having that communication thing there, that line to him where I need to like get a hold of him and I can get a hold of him, because his watch is now broken. And I'm like, do I just replace the watch, or do we just bite the bullet and get the kid a phone? Because my problem is like, he really doesn't need it until he's like out running around by himself. I mean, even then he really doesn't, because like, man, I put my car in the ditch when I was 16. It was all maybe 5 minutes and somebody was stopping that I knew and picked me up. Like, it's just pure convenience for me as a parent to be able to have that instant communication with my kid. But there's a whole host of other shit that comes along with it. You know? Like, they want to be on social media. And we all know the pitfalls of kids being on social media. There's a fucking lot. And it comes back to that responsibility. Being responsible for what gets put out there, what you subject yourself to. When he can tell me the features and benefits of a certain product or whatever, it sounds like a fucking advertisement. And this morning I was like, man, you need to look further into this, because he was telling me about how Fruit Loops has natural flavors in it. Like fruit. It's got fruit in it, Mom. I'm like, oh my God. You need to look past the marketing, my friend. Or like the features and benefits of a game. It's like just cherry picking. And don't we all do that? We all do that. I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of getting sucked in by a headline. There's no doubt about it. We all do it. But how much exposure do I want my kid to have to that? They're already so fucking bombarded with shit, even without a phone. With TikTok and YouTube and blah, 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 all the things. It's like so much information. And I feel like that it can be detrimental to some of them. I made a comment on an Instagram post the other day about, God, what was it? It was something to do. Oh, I remember what it was. It was about the effects of video games on our kids, and how a lot of kids, they're finding some kids are like failing to launch, basically, because they just are addicted to a video game and they're just sucked into it. And then I was like, this is what I'm terrified of for my 13-year-old. I mean, legit, the kid is addicted to video games. And like I said, and that's what I said. And then some guy came on and put this big long comment about how he was addicted to video games and now he does this all stuff in that realm of things and he's very successful. And I'm like, I get that, which is why I'm torn, because I don't want to like remove that, because what if that's his path and here I'm stifling it. But then on the other hand, and I commented back, I said, it causes behavioral issues in some kids. And man, I ain't kidding. This kid has some fucking anger issues and attitude, and it's not just genetic. It is exacerbated by the amount of time he spends on that screen playing these games. And it doesn't matter really which one, because they're all combative games, whatever. I mean, I don't fall into that line of extreme thinking that like video games are the devil, or yeah, I mean, no. Let's not get crazy. I mean, they can be helpful, but they can also be harmful. So I believe there's like a fine line to walk, and you have to know your kid, because everybody's different. Again, everybody's different, right? With that, everybody has an opinion. And with that opinion, he based his response off of 2 sentences I wrote with no background knowledge or anything about where I'm coming from. And I based my response on I didn't elaborate. So it came off as, I just think like this. Again, being responsible for what we put out there. So it was not a full, complete, thought of why I thought that. It was just a very short blurb, which could totally be misconstrued by somebody else with the opposite thinking or opposite experience, right? Responsibility, thinking big picture, whole circle. So I'm trying to be more cognizant about what I put out there, and not that I'm afraid I'm going to offend somebody, because my beliefs are my beliefs, and they come from my experiences and my life and what I've learned and all that stuff, all that. It's come from all that. But I'm trying to be more thoughtful about what I'm putting out there, because you don't know. You don't know what somebody else has been through. You have no fucking clue. Even if they tell you, it's probably not all of it. So it's not going to have the same effect on you as what it does on them. Like when I fucking fell and broke my hip. People are like, ooh! I'm like, yeah. I could talk about that for days upon days upon days, and you still wouldn't understand what that was like unless you've experienced something like that. And the same goes for anything. So I think that's a lot of the problem that we have. We have a communication problem. If you really stop to think about it, we have a communication problem. And a lot of it is because we don't have that background. There is no background. There's no... you don't have to know absolutely everything about somebody else to have a conversation with them, a civil conversation with them. That's not what I'm saying. But what am I saying? I feel like we all need to be more conscientious about what we're putting out. And not because of a fear of offending somebody else. If I say something that I share my belief, I believe in the Second Amendment. I said that when I first started this. If that offends somebody else, that's their problem. It's not my problem. Just because we don't agree on something doesn't mean that it's the end all be all. And unfortunately, where everything is headed right now, everything has been so polarized. And everybody's like, well, you're either fucking here or you're fucking here. And we all know what I mean by that, because you're either on the side of the frickin' vax, which isn't a fax, by the way, or you're not. And whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? It's all of our faults. Every single last one of us. All of us. You cannot point the finger at one person or one thing, and as much as we want to say it's this administration or the previous administration or what the fuck ever, it's not. This has been something that has been in the works for a long time. A long time. If you're my age, ask your parents about it. Do they trust the government? Y'all throw a fucking fit when you ask for references or suggestions on a product or where to buy this or where to buy that, but no MLMs. Ooh, they're the fucking devil. And it's Mary up the street whose oldest daughter babysits your kids, and she's an MLM, but you demonize her for that. Yet you'll trust the fucking government. Are you kidding me? Those people don't know us. They don't know what our lives are like. Do you know why the 1% is the 1%? They don't, it's not the same. They're not us. They're not everyday people. Some of them are, but the 1% is super, 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 super small. Like, out of how many people? How many millions and millions of people? How many billion people are in the U.S.? I don't even know. I don't remember. 1% is a teensy tiny little group. Teensy tiny. And it's not. Like, even big businesses, like First Form, for example. They are not. Andy Frisella is not the 1%. He's not there yet. Is he working to become that big? Yeah, he is. Guy's got big goals. Like, probably shit that would terrify all of us. We'd be like, what? But he's not there yet. And I mean, the guy owns multiple businesses. But that's not the 1%. We're talking like above that. Above that. And those people have no fucking clue how our lives are. They don't want to know. Okay? They don't want to know. And a lot of those people are in government or in bed with our government officials. Yet, we're going to trust what our government shoves down our throats? Fuck that shit. And you won't trust Mary trying to sell you some lipstick up the street because it's an MLM. They take advantage of people. No, they don't. God. The government fucking takes advantage of people. And the sooner we wake up and realize that, the better. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Nobody. I, me, myself, my own damn self, the girl in the mirror, that's who's responsible for saving me. You, when you look in the mirror, every day, that's the only person responsible for saving your ass. That's it. Self-responsibility is like so underrated. I can't even. Self-responsibility is the thing. You know what I wish our curriculum in my kids' school would include? Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. If there is any book that would do this next generation some amazing good, that's it. Extreme Ownership. If you've never read it and you don't know what it is, if you've never heard of Jocko, go look him up. Check out this book. I mean, my kid will read it. If I have to read the fucker to him myself, he will read it. Because that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be able to do the amazing things that are going to level up, that's going to level you up, is looking at yourself in the mirror, taking ownership of everything. Like, there's no excuse, there's no reason, it's nobody else's fault. Being able to accept responsibility, own your shit, and handle it. That's it. Nobody else is going to come save you. Just like nobody else come save me from smushing 4 takes or 5 sections of video together just to try to get this damn thing done today. And I've gone off down on some rabbit holes that were not where I initially went the first time I recorded because it didn't catch the whole thing. Here we are. You just pick it up, keep going. It's nobody else's fault but my own. I don't know what I'm doing. So, just winging it, figuring it out as I go. And that's it. I think that's all I got for you guys today. So, I guess we'll see how this goes. And we'll see if I can rip the audio and actually put it into my podcast for the audio version. If I can't figure that out, then I guess this is it. Catch you on the flip side.